Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about dogs and my opinion on dogs and why I prefer cats. First of all, dogs are really loud. They bark, they howl, they do all sorts of, just loud things. They bark at bikes and cars and stuff like that. Cats don't really bark. They don't make a lot of noise. The most they do is meow every once in a while, and they'll hiss if they're mad. The only really loud thing they do is that thing when they're in their fights, pretty much, and that that's about it. And you don't hear that too often. So I mean, cats are pretty quiet. Dogs are loud. Another thing is dogs are so much more work. You have to take them out to the yard so that they can crap when a cat will just go in the litter box. You have to change it once a week. You have to take them on walks. You can't leave them for a few days on their own. They'll, go all crazy, and it's just so much more work. The smell. Dogs have a tendency to smell, whereas cats don't really smell that much. So, keep that in mind. They're big, so, they're small dogs, but, dogs can be bigger than cats, not including lions and tigers. I don't think anyone has a pet lion or tiger. But, yeah, dogs can be bigger, therefore they can, tend to eat more. What else? They just... Did I say that they smell bad? Because, most dogs smell bad. And cats tend to not smell bad. And cats aren't a lot of effort. You can leave cats alone. What else do I think about dogs? It's just... They have a tendency to be aggressive. Like a lot of them, not all dogs, but quite a few. And keep in mind, I don't hate dogs. Like, there are some dogs I like. But, and again, like, I don't mind, like, the average dog, but overall, like, if I had to have one as a pet, I'd choose a cat. And plus the fact that I'm a little bit allergic to dogs, so that, doesn't make it better. And then, another thing I'd like to state about dogs is all the terrible experiences I've had with dogs. Like, whether I'm walking, running, riding my bike, whatever I'm doing, dogs really suck. Dogs have messed up my day so many times. Like, it all started once when these girls pointed, and this must have been a prank. They were pointing on me, because I know the way they smile and smirk. They're like, "Hey Seth, that over there is our dog. Can you bring that back?" And I'm like, "Oh, sure, I'm gonna do that. I'm a good person and all." So I'm like, "Oh, here, boy. Here's this little chihuahua digging the trash." He turns around and attacks me and tries to bite me. So look at my knife, hold it, hold my knife at him. He stops for a second, turns around, and goes back. So I'm like, okay, whatever. That's not the only time. There are times when I'll ride my bike and they'll bark at me and threaten me, and I don't know if they're behind one of those invisible fences. Like, those sensor things where their collar will ring a bell, and if they don't turn back, it'll shock them. Yeah, I didn't know if it had that or not, and it was a really big dog, and it was scary. I once had a friend who owned, like, a really big dog that would occasionally get out of its fence, and if you tried to go into her yard, it would kill you. What else has happened? One day, when me and my friend were running cross-country, two big German Shepherds went out and attacked us. I wanted to, like, kick them both or hit them and stop them, but I figured, I might get in trouble if I did that, so I decided not to, and finally a lady yelled at them to, get over here. I remember, there would be times when I'd be riding my bike, and a dog would come and, like, chase me. Like, once a dog literally chased me. Luckily for me, I was going downhill, and I already had a lot of momentum, so there's no way in heck he was ever going to catch me, but still. What else? There was that time I was walking on a dirt road at night. I got attacked by a whole army of little dogs. So I just, I get out my knife, hold it, and they all seem to run. I don't know why dogs are afraid of knives. I guess they can just, sense that you have a weapon, it's their instinct. But yeah, that's another reason why, or another case of when dogs attacked me. I remember once I was running through a gated community where they're all sniffing. Well, not all of them, just a lot of them are just like really like arrogant and like high-headed and stuff like that in that neighborhood. And I was running, and these dogs just run right in the road and chase me, and I have my knife, and I'm like reverse gripping it, like, oh, you stay back, and some lady yells, and she's like, what are you doing with that knife? And I'm like, what are they doing letting their dogs run out in the streets like that? And finally she's like, they won't hurt you, and I'm like, thanks. I just put my knife back and keep running. But it's just so many times dogs have attacked me. And of course this leads into my most recent encounter. This is the first time I actually had to physically hurt a dog to get it to stop attacking me. Actually, two dogs. I was running 2 laps around the lake up at my grandma and grandpa's cabin, and as soon as I started running, I'm like, oh, dang it, I forgot my knife. I'm probably going to need it. I'm like, oh, well, I guess it'll be fine. Just this one run. I ran my first lap, everything was okay. Then on my second lap, I had a strange feeling. I just knew I was going to need my knife for something, and it was probably going to have to do with dogs. I could feel it in me. Sure enough, towards the very end of the last lap, 2 pit bulls run out and attack me. Like, what the heck? So, the first one starts to come too close to me, so I kick him in the face really hard. And he turns around and runs back, and then the second one comes at me, so I kick him in the face really hard. I'm like, you are not gonna bite me. And he runs back, and the first one starts to come back a little bit, and then he gets to a point, he stops, and he turns back, probably because he wised up and thought, oh, he's probably gonna kick me again if I run close to him. And then some lady yells, get over here, you dogs! And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, oh, that's okay. And she's like, they wouldn't hurt anyone. And I'm just thinking, that's what they all say. Who knows, every dog owner is like, oh, they wouldn't hurt a fly after they just attack someone. I'm not willing to believe that anymore. I've had so many encounters. That's not even all. I've had like at least 10 bad dog encounters. Like, oh, I forgot to tell you, there's that one time when I drive down to like a dead end of the road and I'm late. I gotta get home really quickly. But this dog runs right out in the middle of the street and looks at me with this really arrogant look. Like, he's one of those really big, tall dogs, and he like sits up high and he's like, big dog, I'm not gonna let you pass. And I had my knife, and I'm thinking, oh, if I stab you, I'm probably gonna get in trouble or something. So, which, by the way, if a dog was biting me or legitimately hurting me, I would stab him for sure. I mean, my first defense against a dog is a kick, but yeah, I would kill a dog if I had to. So anyways, he was like, what are you gonna do about it? I'm in your way. And then finally, after a few minutes, someone yelled for him to get inside, and he did. So I'm like, oh, finally I can pass and get home. But seriously, like, if you own a dog, keep it on a leash or keep it in a fence or do something, because those can be really annoying to people on the street. Well, auf Wiedersehen.